This is how my AI agent qualifies high-intent insurance leads on autopilot. Most insurance companies are still burning through hours of calling unqualified leads and wasting a lot of time and money on people who will never convert. That stops today because I built an AI agent that calls leads on autopilot, sounds like a real human, qualifies them, and then automatically updates the CRM, so you only spend time with leads that are actually worth pursuing. And after they're qualified, it even generates a personalized blueprint that they can use and increases your show-up rates massively. In this video, I want to show you three things. First of all, a live demo of this agent. Second, the prompts, the tools, the workflows that I actually use to build it. And third, I want to give you a cost breakdown so you can decide if this is a smart investment in 2025. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. My name's Liam. I help businesses all over the world save tens and tens of thousands a year using AI. So if you want to do the same for your business, just use the first link down below to book a free AI consultation call. I am limiting the spots to only 3 people per video, so I hope to see you in there, and now let's dive into the live demo. Alright, now let me show you what this sounds like. So in here we have a pretend CRM on monday.com, but we can of course integrate this with many other softwares. So as you can see, I've added myself as a lead, the status is new lead, and I've got an email and a phone number. Now all we need to do to get the AI to call is to click pre-qualify in a moment. And as soon as we click pre-qualify, you can see that this workflow over here will trigger and I'll get a call on this number.
Kate from Hemingsworth Insurance. Do you have a second?
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty quick. Yeah, of course. What's up?
That's great to hear, Liam. Thank you for your interest in Hemingsworth Insurance. To better understand your needs and see if we're a good fit, would you mind answering a few quick questions?
Of course. No problem.
Awesome. First, what type of insurance are you primarily interested in? Home, auto, or life?
Yeah, mainly life insurance.
Great choice. Life insurance is such an important part of planning for the future. Do you currently have any insurance coverage? And if
Yeah,
so,
I do.
It's
for the next 5 years. I already have one in place.
Thanks for sharing that, Liam. Now, could you let me know your approximate annual income? This helps us tailor
yeah, it's 250,000.
Thank you for that, Liam. Have you had any recent claims or significant life changes?
No, I mean, we got a dog, but that's pretty much it, so.
Got it. Congratulations on the new pup. Last quick question. What are your top priorities when choosing an insurance
Definitely
provider?
having good
For example,
customer support and also having good service. Those two are the most important for me.
Excellent. Those are two key things we pride ourselves on at Hemingsworth Insurance. Based on your answers, you sound like a great fit for Hemingsworth Insurance. I'll email you a customized insurance overview shortly. Can you confirm your email is luminatdigital.dental@gmail.com?
Yes, it is. Thank you for remembering.
Perfect. You'll receive that within 24 hours. Thank you for your time, Liam. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, as you see, it called me, and now after I hang up, this workflow over here will trigger and generate a customized insurance blueprint for me. So right here, what it's already done is it has added the answers to the questions into this field over here, so you can review what happened on the call. It's updated the status to qualified, which is great. So if you go onto the pipeline, it'll put me into qualified, which is nice. And next, in a moment, once this is done, there we go, it actually sent an email to me. So if we reload this, as you can see, I got a new email. There we go. Got a new email which says thank you, for your interest. You can download it here, and then if you download this, you actually get a customized insurance overview. And of course, all of this is customizable, right? You can customize the questions, the criteria, the software, the way it generates the blueprint. Everything is up to you. But let me show you how I set this up, how it does all of this, how it makes the decisions, and yeah, basically how you can build this for yourself. All right, so to build this, you're going to need 2 softwares. First of all, Make.com, and also an account on Vappy. Now, the good thing is, if you just want to play around with this, both of the softwares have free trials, and you can get free credits on both. And also, if you want to download these workflows and also the prompts that I've given the AI, you can go to the resources section in the description and download them completely for free. While you're down there, if you do need help customizing these for your insurance company, you can also book a free AI consultation call if you want any customizations to this. All right, so let's start with what actually happens. So on monday.com here, I've just made a very basic pipeline. And as you can see, the status usually is new lead when a new lead comes in. And then you can just click on pre-qualify. Now, how do we detect that this was checked? How does the AI know who to call and when? This is the first workflow, the outbound call. So what happens here is we have a Monday module which watches board values, and it basically detects, and to create one of these, you go onto Monday and then watch boards column values, and then you can create a new webhook and then configure which one you want. And then you'll, for example, watch a change on, in this case, pre-qualify. So if pre-qualify changes, then this will trigger basically. So that's how I set that up. And next what happens is once this triggers, we're going to search for more information about who we actually have to call. And then what we do is we set the variables here. So the name will be the name of whatever's in here. So in this case, Liam. Then the phone number will be the phone number that's in this column over here. And the email will be the email that's in that column here. And next what we do is we format the phone number into the right format. We format all of this into JSON, which will then allow us to use this module to actually trigger the call on Vappy. Now in Vappy, what happens is that this assistant here, Hemmingsworth Insurance Qualifier, it receives the call and knows, okay, I've got to call, where is it? I've got to call this phone number. And what happens then is it places the call like you saw to my phone. And then we also have these things called dynamic variables. And anything in brackets in this case is replaced with the start of the call. So the name gets injected into the prompt. We inject the email into the prompt. And we also have a current time that I add, because a lot of people forget this. I think an AI should have context awareness to at least know what the time is. And you can also specify the time zone in here. Now, once again, the prompt is in the description in case you just want to download this. And as you can see, we've specified a start message. It'll say, hey, Liam, this is Kate from Hemmingsworth Insurance. Do you have a second? And in terms of the prompt, you can, as I said, download it. But the way this is structured is, first of all, giving it a role, knowing who it is and an identity. Next, a context, so it knows who it works for, why it's calling somebody. It's calling somebody who's recently expressed interest. And next, we give it some specifics on how it should speak. We can give a step-by-step instruction next, in which we've also included the qualifying questions in here. So it knows, please ask them one by one. And next, assessment, we've given good fit criteria, and based on that, it will then decide if this is a good fit or not. And if it is a good fit, it's allowed to say this is a, email confirmation will give you a personalized plan. And then it also says, is this your email? Which is also injected into the prompt. Is your email, in this case, I just picked a random one, Lumina something. Is that still your email? And if so, then it will just use that to send. Then we can also give it tone and style, ending the call guidelines, when is the call finished. And the note section I always like to leave for things that doesn't work, because whatever's at the beginning and the end of the prompt is what the agent will prioritize, and it will have the most weight. Now in Vappy, you can change a bunch of other things. You can change the voice, you can change with the language, you can change, when does it stop speaking, when can I interrupt it, what happens if I stay silent for 10 seconds. And one thing that's also interesting here is the summary. And we've asked it to send over to the second workflow. So once the call ends, this triggers over here. Now we have a webhook, and this webhook is attached to if you go to the advanced section, to messaging, onto server URL, that's that webhook from here. And in here, just make sure under server messages, you have the end of call report checked. Because then if you configure the analysis to extract question answer pairs from these questions, it will send over basically a little piece of information, which we can then insert into the call evaluation. And what I've also asked it to do is extract structured data. And here basically decide if the conversation revealed if this lead is qualified or not. The prompt does the actual qualification, but this is just a little mini prompt to extract either yes or no. In this case, it can either extract yes or no. And based on that, what happens is we send that information when it arrives through here. We search based on who was calling, right? We search for the right column in this case, so we know who to update. And then if no, right, if the structured data qualified is not qualified, we're going to update this to unqualified. But if they are qualified, we'll update the status to qualified. Like in the example, right, this changes to qualified. And then next, what happens if they are qualified, we use this AI module to, based on the conversation that they had, generate a customized insurance plan. And this just basically generates an insurance plan for them. We put that into a Google document and then send that to the email that we extracted from over there, right? And that's pretty much it, right? This is how you can get an AI to do a lot of the work for you, and you can do a lot more things with this as well, right? You could get this thing to straight book an appointment with your sales rep if they're qualified, for example. You can, of course, customize how this insurance blueprint looks. You can add many more things. So there's, this is only a tiny little glimpse into what's actually possible. But next, let me give you a cost breakdown to see if this is actually a worthwhile investment and what an investment looks like for a setup like this. All right, so this is a cost breakdown of what your investment could look like. So first of all, the thing to look at is the AI price per minute, because you're paying this AI only for the work that it does. So if it makes no phone calls, you pay nothing. If it makes more phone calls, you pay it per minute. And this comes down to the skill of the agency you're working with. 11 cents per minute is already really cheap. It used to be at like 17 or 19 cents. But with improvements of the technology, this is always going down. And also depending on how good the person that you're working with is, if they put a massive prompt in here which isn't optimized, it can cost twice as much. But if you actually try to compromise and really optimize the prompt, then what I usually work with is, in this case, it's only 10 cents per minute, right? So it's extremely cheap, but 11 cents per minute, 12 cents is a good benchmark. Now, if you compare that to a human is around 30 cents per minute, assuming you don't pay the minimum wage. And now for a concrete example, let's assume this is a mid-sized insurance company receiving around 200 leads per day. And each of the calls, like I showed you in the example, was 3 minutes. So we've got 11 cents times 3 minutes times 200 is, I'll show you that in a moment, around, I believe it's like 2,000 a month. And that seems like a lot of money, right? But now let me show you the actual savings. So there's a few columns here. Let's say you kept this for 12 months, right? For 12 months, for 1 year, what would you make? And the without the AI column is, imagine you had to pay a human to do this. So at 200 leads a day, you would have to pay at least 2 people to call all the leads. Most likely maybe 3, but let's say you're paying 2 people, $3,500 a month each. And keep in mind, they're probably only going to be working within fixed hours, right? AI is 24/7, but we'll get into all those benefits afterwards. So the human cost to call everyone is around $7,000 a month. Now for AI, there's 2 costs. So first of all, we have the investment of setting it up, which in this case, they can range from a very small one of $2,000, up to massive things like $200,000, but usually an average size ticket is between $5,000 and $10,000. So 8,000 is a decent setup fee. And then we have the monthly AI usage costs, which is basically what we worked out over here. Now, what is the savings? So as you can see, in the first month, the cost of setting it up is more than just paying 2 humans to do the job. But already in the second month, you're making $4,000. And as you can see, this compounds month after month. And at the end of the year, if you keep this, as opposed to hiring 2 people to do this, you would save close to $60,000. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that, as you heard in the example, this is extremely realistic. The speed to lead is phenomenal. There's almost no delay between lead coming in and AI calling. It's 24/7, which is great. So you can also do this in many different languages in multiple time zones. It's, as I said, extremely cost effective, of course. You can do 1,000 calls at once. So even if 200 leads, even if you get 2,000 leads a day, even if you got 1,000 leads within the exact same second, AI could still call all of them. And of course, it saves you a huge amount of time because now these two people who were previously calling the leads can focus on much more productive tasks. And that's the best part about AI, right? You literally get paid $60,000 conservatively a year to have better service, better speed to lead, and overall just a much more robust system. All right, so I hope I was able to give you some value in this video. If you learned something new, or maybe you actually have a suggestion on what an insurance company could need, leave it in the comment section down below and I might make a video about that in the future. If you want to customize what I've built here for your business, or you're looking to work with me, you can just use the first link down below to book a free AI strategy session. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next video.